Smoking wax bats, trying to gain back my mentals. Oh, I like I was sleep, little baby, I will spin you. I said take them clothes off, she said I was fin to. Chop the price in half, you ain't know I knew jujitsu. Always for myself before anybody else. You can see it in my eyes, I ain't get no fucking help. Roaming around looking for my mammy, but she up above. Geeked out, nigga, yes, I really fell in love with drugs. You can get your pussy ass hit up inside the club. To my surprise, he ain't wear no mask or gloves. We can have it, bring it static, ain't showing no love. Pull up with them tools, I confused, they knew what it was. Smoking wax bats, trying to gain back my mentals. Oh, I like I was sleep, little baby, I will spin you. I said take them clothes off, she said I was fin to. Chop the price in half, you ain't know I knew jujitsu. Always for myself before anybody else. You could see it in my eyes, I ain't get no fucking.
Welcome to Pittsburgh Chatter, where I do interviews where I want, whenever I want, with who I want. And today we have a Pittsburgh legend, a Hill legend, the owner of IKEWEAR, pioneer of clothing brands, Donnie Kyte. How's it going, man?
I'm pretty good, man. I can't complain.
All right, so one thing that's been going viral on social media, I'm going to just get this out the way now. There has been a recent purchase of a building downtown.
Yes.
And then one of the people who purchased it was actually wearing your merchandise.
Yes.
So how did that come about? Was this intentional or it just happened sporadically?
You know what? Her partner, which is Sam, which I'm cool with both of those ladies. I'm cool with both of those ladies. We have a relationship prior to that. So the lady Sam, which is her partner, she was originally supposed to wear it, but she never got a chance to get to the store. So Camille, which is her partner, she came into the store and she got the set, and she took it upon herself to do it, which was honorable.
And did you know this was gonna go up like this and like everyone would start sharing it, because it went like really viral? Just not only the fact that they had purchased the building, but also the fact that IKEWEAR was being shown in a good light.
No, I didn't know it was gonna go viral, but I knew it was going to be a good look. You know, for all of us, especially, you know, with the magnitude of what they did, you know, for the first two women to be able to purchase that building downtown, that's historic in itself. So no, I didn't know it was going to do that, and I'm very honorable that it did.
For sure. All right, so I used to live on the Hill for the longest period, and one thing I do want to say, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, and I was telling you this before we came into the studio about just like growing up and like throughout the years seeing the consistency of IKEWEAR. Yes. And when I say this, we have seen clothing brands start but fall off, and you've been around for almost like 2 decades now. Yes. We're starting to edge until 3, right?
Yeah,
you're getting
25. I just celebrated 25 this year.
So in 5 more, we at 3. Yeah. So you've got to see the evolution of brands that may have started, fell off, some ones that have started, have flourished. So how were you able to stay consistent throughout this? Because you used to have a store by the New Hill Library, correct? Wasn't that the first store on the corner?
Avenue, yeah.
Yep, and then you moved further down. So just tell me how you were able to stay so consistent throughout the whole process.
I'm going to say consistency and then just not giving up, you know, by the grace of God, because I'll tell any entrepreneurs out there, it's rough, and it's times I did want to give up. But it was signs that God showed me that it wasn't time to give up, because the times that I did, it was still people out there asking, hey, you got the purge, It's times that I didn't operate, or I operated small, in a small venue, and it made me want to, it's like, man, is it over? But God just showed me that it wasn't. So that's what made me keep going. Kept me going, God. So I give credit to God, man, to keep it up and keep me consistent, to keep me going through it all. And
also, let's talk about the process, because when I see you, you had already had a store. So it's like, but I'm sure there was a process to getting your first store. So let's talk about that a little bit. Let's talk about the ground level before people see what they see now.
Okay. Well, originally I came from, you know, just selling my apparel in my projects on the Hill District. I went to bars, I went to the projects. I went wherever people called me, I went. So I was basically, you know, doing my thing out of my trunk, out of the car, or catching the jitney to wherever I needed to be. And the reason why I did end up starting a store is because I had a couple influential people in my community, you know, that kept telling me to put my stuff in, like Mo Gear. These are the stores that was popular back then, like Mo Gear and what's the other store it was another store that was popular. They kept telling me, "Yo, put your stuff in there, put your stuff in there." I said, you know what? I'm gonna start my own store, and then that started me on a mission to do it myself. I said, listen, I ain't gonna put it in no store. I'm gonna do my own thing, and I'm gonna start my own store. And that's what made me do my own thing.
Okay, I got a question before we move on. I got a question that has arisen now. Okay, so when you say you wanted to do your own thing and make your own store, was it because you thought of putting it in places like that would diminish the value of your brand, or was it more just like, no, I'm not finna mess with it. I need to do it myself, like
that? I need to do it myself. I wanted to be an IKEWEAR store, not IKEWEAR in someone else's store. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's different if you have your own store everywhere, and then okay, now we can go to other brand and put it in other stores. But I want to make sure this is the keystone first.
This is me first, you know, and then also having an idea of independency, you know. So if I go into somebody else's store, who knows what type of deal I had to make? You know, if I got my own store, I don't have to make a deal. Everything is me.
Everyone that knows about the Hill typically knows about IKEWEAR. So was that the plan in the start too, to just like push the Hill with the IKEWEAR name? Like, how did the actual name come about?
Well, the Hill naturally is going to be with IKEWEAR because that's where it originated from. But
exactly.
My inception in IKEWEAR, and I try to tell people from the beginning, my thing was to go worldwide, nationwide, worldwide. When I first started off doing the clothing line period, I said, listen, I'm trying to take this nationwide, worldwide. It was never to be just a hood thing. It was to be a clothing line. And that's what my idea was from the beginning.
A worldwide. All right, so this is another thing that I know has probably helped your brand throughout the years. The amount of people that have attention on the Pittsburgh Hill music scene.
Yes.
So, and it's weird. It's like you're such a staple in Pittsburgh and in the Hill. It's kind of like anybody that does Hill music, you're going to come across it because it's like, okay, I'm listening to, all right, I want to know more about the Hill. I'm hearing all this music. And you're going to stumble upon IKEWEAR so, in some form or fashion. So has, in the, I don't want to say an amount of sales, but just in popularity, do you think that Hill music flourishing has helped you too?
I don't know. I can't tell. I can't tell. And I don't want to take no credit away from them guys because I definitely had a lot of guys who did represent me. They referenced me in their bars and their lines and, you know, all that. So I don't know if that actually helped. I can't tell.
Because it's like you're already known. So
yeah, like it is not bragging. When I started off, I've been hot ever since. I never cooled off. Only time I cooled off is, like I said, when in times when I just thought that, you know, I couldn't and didn't want to do it no more. And that was part of personal reasons. It wasn't even necessarily the line. It was personal reasons why I you know, attempted or wanted to stop. But I was hot from the beginning. And
all right. Another question I had, when it comes to manufacturers or working with people like that, I'm sure over the years you've had lessons learned probably in the beginning and learned over time, oh, I can make this connection with this person, or I like this person over that. So when it comes to that, tell me, because we're talking about like 20 plus years. Tell us how you were able to find who you like to work with best, some of the mishaps you may have had in the beginning too.
Well, you definitely got to go through a lot of mishaps, you know, dealing with certain people. It's unfortunate that, you know, you ran into bad business, you know. I'll tell you a story of where, you know, if people know, they'll be familiar with this. I had a run where I had jerseys out. This was one of my hottest moments too. I had some of the best jerseys in the city, if not the best. I was dealing with a company on the south side, and you know, being that this stuff was hot, I went to them and I gave them my idea, and I wanted the jersey to be just like an NFL jersey because I always wanted to be quality or be right there to the professionals. Man, I gave this guy my money. Went to go get the product. He put all the good stuff on top. So when I got it, I gave my money and I got it. Everything looked good because the good stuff was on top. I got home and I got under that box and got up under the good stuff. It was just like everything else was bad.
Like in what terms? Is quality and
the quality, the cut, like everything was like wrong. It was like it was supposed to be a certain cut. You know, if you see an NFL jersey, you know
it's a certain fit. Yeah,
it's a certain fit. It's a certain cut. You know, it was short, too small. Oh, it was bad. The material looked bad. Everything. So it was just like I got burnt in the game, and it hurted. But I'll tell you this: if that ever happened to anybody in this game, it only fueled me to go harder. It only fueled me to go harder. I said, you know, when I recognized, I said, wow. it only lets me know what type of guy that I was dealing with. He's not an upstanding guy. Don't worry about it. Take what you got. That's good. Sell that. Keep pushing.
So you think he did that, like he was just doing bad business? You think it was intentional? Like what was?
I'm gonna say bad business. I don't want to put the attention on him because I never knew him personally, but you know, I don't know. You know, I know it was bad because you know it's deception. You know, it's deception, and nobody wants to be deceived. You know, when I'm coming to you with my money, I gave you half down, and then you tell me it's done. I come to give you my other half. I perceive that it's all done. Everything is done well. This is what you tell me. Everything is right. I get home. The ones up top is right. You know, and then the bottom ones is, I mean, I'm talking about a lot was just screwed from there on, man. Like,
so what was the next step after this? Because it sounds like it was like you obviously took a big loss here because you, like you're saying, they were hot. So if something's immediately going to be hot and be able to sell, you're going to get an abundance of it so that you can move it as much as frequently as you can. So
what I did was I took what I had that was good, I sold that, and I just kept going. You know what I mean? I sold whatever I had that was good. And like I said, it didn't stop me. It only fueled me to keep going. And I believe I may have got another connect or either switched up and did something else and kept going.
That's crazy. Because it's like you would think that people understand like what it is to do good business. But now I also want to think when timing-wise and things come up, just say, all right, hey, I may need a little bit more time. Because it sounds like maybe he just rushed it. Like. Yeah. It sounds like that's what probably happened. He was just like rushed it and then tried to hide it. And it's just like, bro, just if you don't rush it. Just be like, hey, bro, take my time with this.
I would rather you. I mean, like you saying, if you mess something up, honesty is best. It's just tell me that it's messed up, or you didn't. Like you said, you didn't have enough time. You rushed and they didn't turn out how you thought they was. Now that gives me to make a decision to say, all right, well, let's do something. I'll take a little bit or take something off or something like that. But the deception in that was terrible. I mean, I don't know if you ever had that feeling. I think most of us have felt that. And you could do this in any part of life where, you know, something appears to be good, but then, you know, it turns out to be bad. Up on the surface is good, but underneath is bad.
But like that, let's highlight one good part about this though. You learned this early on, so luckily it wasn't later, like when you're really going up, like, cause whew, that could have been a real loss. Let me say this: it
happened on several occasions. Now, being fortunate enough to go from there, and from the beginning, I wasn't dealing with manufacturers. This guy was just a local embroidery, you know, embroiderer. So now I had the opportunity later on in my life to deal with manufacturers, and I did come across a problem with them, the measurements, because the manufacturers that I deal with, they from a different country. Now they perceive our measurements as European. You know, we're African Americans. You know, we wear stuff a little different, so their perception is, you know, they're gonna give you the measurement of the European. So when they send you stuff, it comes out, like we said, it's too small. So I've dealt with that on several occasions. Now, with that manufacturer, either you can make the adjustment or you don't deal with them anymore. You know what I mean? With one, I tried to make the adjustment. He didn't get it right, so I just didn't deal with him anymore. So you got to find and figure until it's right, and then you deal with that.
And so at what point did you find the right one? It was just like, okay, I'm locked in.
Ooh, it's this lady from over Pakistan, man. And you know, it was most of the men that I was dealing with who kept doing me wrong or just couldn't get it right. I ran into this woman from, I didn't even know she was a woman. She had to let me know through the conversation, through the message. But I think it was maybe like, I want to say 3 years ago. I ran into a solid manufacturer.
So after all this grinding, you're telling me, oh my Lord.
Yeah,
okay.
After all this ups and downs. It's ups and downs. Don't get me wrong. It's ups and downs. You're gonna go up. You gotta figure this. You gotta test this. You gotta test that. This may be right. Now, this may be wrong, and you just gotta go through it. You know what I mean? Until you find the right one. The quality ones that I did find was the Chinese is real good. And then I've been dealing with some Pakistanians, and this woman is real good. And what I got on now is part of what she's done.
And so when it comes to this, cause like, so is there multiple people that you use depending on what you're doing, or is it just one person for everything? You just tell them what you want.
I use multiples.
Okay.
I'm fortunate to find two.
Okay.
That could do it. So I'll switch in between those two.
Okay.
And the reason to do that for all the entrepreneurs out there, if you can find 2 to 3, because you can have certain projects going on. Just say if I have this coat in rotation or going, now I can have this sweatsuit coming, because certain people's timing is different. She may need a week. She may need 2. So if you do the one with the week, now within the week, that's dropping. Now the next 2 weeks, that other one is coming.
And bringing attention to the one before.
You know what I'm saying?
No, that's the best way to do it. I ain't gonna lie.
It's a great way to do it.
And it's gonna be 2 different looks though.
Yeah.
No, okay, yeah, I get it. So as far as a profit, has there been a profit goal? Has there been like you said worldwide, but has there been an actual monetary goal that you have for yourself?
A monetary goal? Not necessarily. I mean, to me, it's me and my partner discuss this all the time. It's like, I just want to be able to take care of my family and the community around me, man. You know what I mean? That's it. I don't have no real super, because I gotta be honest, man. This fame and stardom and all that money, it causes so many problems. Just give me enough to take care of what needs to be taken care of, as far as my family and what I need to do in the community, and whoever else need help, however it go. You know.
No, I definitely agree with that.
You know, it's a lot when you really want to. When you say you want to scale up so much, it's a lot with that.
It's crazy because it's like everybody wants to. Well, I don't know how everybody else feels, but I'm with you on it. Yeah. I want the bread, but I don't really want to be. I don't want everybody in my business. And it's like, oh no, you can't have the bread unless you have an absurd amount of bread and have your piece. I'm like, whoa,
exactly.
What? Like,
you're
don't
not
really
going to
count
get no peace. Now I have a little bit of stardom that I deal with locally, because I'm a local, well-known person. So just imagine, I mean, and I think it's a time it's going to do come where I really scale up, but it's on you too to try to keep it modest. I ain't buying no fancy. I ain't into fancy cars. I ain't into all that type of stuff. I got a different mindset. So my money would be going to different things. Like, I do more work in the community. You know what I'm saying? So.
That's where your brand's built, and that's what it's built off, the hood, the community. So it's like, that's what IKEWEAR represents. Yeah. So the hill, IKEWEAR. So it's, I get it.
So let me make this clear, and and this is for all the communities around the city, because they try to put IKEWEAR in a box, and a lot of people don't want to gravitate towards it because they from different communities. But IKEWEAR is for everybody, and IKEWEAR will do for anybody and everybody. So my stuff is just not for my community. Whatever I do for any community, if I could do it, I'll do it.
So you want so you don't even, but that stigma has died down though. People wear IKEWEAR. I've seen that all the time.
I've seen it. I seen it. What represent Brad? I represent.
Yeah, I think that. I think. All right, this may be sad to say, but I got to be honest with some of the other brands that were like that when it was like quote unquote just the hood, and you would wear that brand. That's died down to the point where it's like all those other brands don't really exist anymore to even. So
let me say this: we still deal with it.
You think?
Yes, I know personally. I've heard people say, yo, listen, your stuff is dope, man. I really like it, but
the younger generation. There's no way younger generations saying this.
Not the younger generation so much. More so the older ones.
Okay. Well,
because I got like at one time I had everybody. I don't really have too much of the younger generation right now. I still got the mid and the olders, in betweens. I may got some, but I don't have the younger generation like that. So that's kind of my focus too, is to come back around to get it back to having everybody.
All right, so what was there was, I don't know when it was exactly, but I know you're going to know what I'm talking about. You can tell me the year span of when it was. There's a period of time where everyone was in IKEWEAR.
Yes.
So what year? I just remember it. Okay. I can't really explain it. So what year period was that? Like that 2-year period when it was
crazy. I can't pinpoint it, but let me try to see if I can go back, because I was doing so much in the community. Like if you don't know, I did free skating parties. Like I did so much in the community. So you know, that correlates with them. And I was doing parties, you know, so if I did a party, that brought the community along with it too. So they had to have a pair or purchase IKEWEAR to be at the party. Not they had to, but that's what they would do. So let me see if it's 2000. It's hard to pinpoint that time. But I know it was a time where I had everybody rocking it. I don't know the exact time. I'm sorry to say that.
It was. I want to say it was either right before I got into high school. I don't know. Maybe like 2000. I don't want to be wrong though. I want to say around like maybe 2011 to like 2013. I seen a boost. That's when I seen it.
It was definitely.
It was like around then, cause I know this reason. My mom used to hold a marketplace right across from your store in the lot. So I just know during that period of time, and that was around that time, I used to see everyone in IKEWEAR.
Hold on, like, so let me see. When you say your mom, what marketplace? Because
there was this group on the hill called Ujima, and she, yeah.
That was my
yeah, the founder, that's my mom. So yeah. I just don't be trying to go too deep in it. Yeah, bro. I don't be trying to use none of the connections. I be trying to really just do it myself though.
Yeah, I really like Ujima.
Yeah,
I had my stuff in Ujima one time, and we did well. Very professional. You know, Ujima would send me checks, man.
Yeah, people come in this. That's how I'm. So that's another thing. That's how you know. I know I'm not capping. Like I really used to see like everywhere it would be like IKEWEAR. I was like, damn. Like you see people like, how you know?
A lot of IKEWEAR through Ujima.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. All right, but that's another question I want to ask you because you were around for this. There was a store that was in that same building as Ujima before. They used to what was it called? They used to sell red monkeys and stuff.
This and that. It moved from down center into that place, and that was like one of the urban stores.
So, all right, can you tell me like, did you know the owner of that store? Like, how did that come about? Because he was selling like some very rare things. Like he didn't have his own brand.
Some expensive stuff.
Way too expensive. Like
I don't know if that's why he didn't last or whatever, but it had
to be. Let's
definitely came and went, man.
But he had a rise though.
I didn't know him personally. I just knew of him. I knew him from down the other store and what he was doing. And then when he moved in there, I was like, dang, wow, he's really selling some expensive stuff. Bro,
$400 jeans. It was crazy. I knew maybe 3 people that was buying stuff out of that store. I was like, yo, how do y'all afford that? It's ridiculous. That's another question I have. And when it comes to as far as like making the clothing affordable and things like that, what was your thought process with that?
Hey, listen, I come from the dirt, man. So I want to make it. I don't never want. The only time I'll make it, I make exclusive stuff now, and I really don't overcharge nobody. You know, I never want to really get into that. You know what I mean? I want to make it affordable for everybody. Now, if you request something, and I still ain't gonna kill you too much. You know what I mean?
But like things on varsity jackets, you kind of have to, because that's like a different level piece though.
No, listen, I got a request for I wore my red and white varsity jacket. It's exclusive. I wore it like maybe 2 weeks ago. Got a bunch of requests. They put the request in, I didn't charge them. I charged them like $40 more.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Now it gets ridiculous with the exclusive. I could have charged them $100 or $200 more. You know what I mean? Because it's exclusive. Nobody else is gonna have it. But my mind frame is, I'm not gonna kill nobody. Here, I know you want it. You want it bad. Here, just give me this amount. You got it.
So that is something you do with like people doing that in advance, having requests.
Yeah.
Whew.
They do have requests.
What was the like craziest like request you had, like amount wise? Like it was like, oh, I need 3,000 hoodies or something like that. Like
that amount.
Okay. So what was the highest amount?
They be minimum like. It ain't even high. It's like 1 or 2 pieces. I never got a crazy request of like, well, hold on, all right, the highest one maybe just now, I did something for a guy up in Baltimore. So he got a request for IKEWEAR sweatsuits with the Baltimore, we got the Kings up here representing one of the Baltimore football teams. I got that done just recently. It was like 41 pieces.
Okay, but that's still pretty good though. especially for it to be outside of Pittsburgh, because I was saying more in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, so that's what I said. This is a good look, and I had to do it because what I'm trying to do, like I said, is nationwide, worldwide. That's my mission. So I have to get into these other markets, and this is one of the ways that I believe will get me into that.
So you've thought about starting to doing like more like collaboration pieces where it's like, okay, my brand, and then you guys have your brand on it too. Yeah. That way.
Well, let me say this: not my brand, because I don't like to clash brands.
Yeah. Okay.
Like what this is, it's an organization.
So it's like a logo, more or less.
Yeah. This is an organization. This is a football organization. So I could do that.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I could do it's really my brand, bringing in the sports athletic wear.
It's more for the community.
But it has your organization, your community organization.
And this is another step that you were saying, as like you were saying before, of you not just wanting it to be in the Hill, and also you wanted to expand to other places and other communities. This is the perfect. So, as far as, is that where you? Wow, my bad. That's just because mind-boggling. Because I'm thinking now, and I'm like, there's a lot of younger teams, youth teams like that where that could work. Yeah. Is that somewhere where you thought about like expanding to? Because we're talking about all around the world, youth teams.
Definitely. You know, I should have definitely did something about it for the Hill Rebels. I definitely should have had a consideration to do something, but me and the organization never talked about it or never got around to it. But yeah, I would definitely collaborate with a lot of these little organizations.
Yeah, they could have like a what is it called? A before game wear, like the sports wear. No, we gonna put y'all in the IKEWEAR before the game.
And to me, it's honorable because I am a staple and I am a legend over there. You know,
should be a no-brainer.
Some of the things that we don't understand in a lot of our communities is we don't really honor our legends like that. You know, we'll kill them, and I'm just being real. You know what I mean? We'll kill them before we honor them to a certain extent. And this is just me viewing and seeing other legends who have went through what they went through, who lost their life. You better protect your legends, man. You know what I mean? It's information and it's value in your legends. You don't devalue them.
Especially when you see them in that era of like, okay, they're changing. They're not like they're trying to elevate, and you know when they're trying to elevate, you'll start seeing them do certain things, and there's certain things where they're like, no, I'm not around that no more. And it's just like some people can't even get to that point because then the hate's yeah, bro, I already know.
You already know, so you know what I'm talking about when I say that, man. And it's scary, man, being one, you know. And it's like I understand, like I don't play no games with legends. Like when I'm around a legend or an old timer, man, it's
give them their respect.
Much respect, much respect. I want to listen. I want to learn what you got to say, man. Here, let me get your coffee. Let me move your chair. Let me open the door. It's respect.
That's some very old school mannerisms. Yes. I gotta be honest though. That's very old school mannerisms that you don't typically see nowadays. Yeah. You really don't typically see nowadays.
I see a lot of young dudes and they just look at me like, you won't value me till I'm gone. You know what I mean?
Okay, so let's stop here for a minute, because how this interview came about is one day I was just walking past your store and it's just like I always do. Like I look in, it's like, oh, this IKEWEAR is crazy. He's doing this thing still. Like that's crazy. And then something just was like, bro, let me go in there. Like I'm actually doing something now. It's not like I can't talk to people. I can help. So I walk in there and we just start conversation. You don't know me from a can of paint. And it's crazy that like you don't know me, but I'm talking probably over thousands of times. Like I've seen the IKEWEAR store. I may have came in there, but I was probably a kid, so there was probably no way you would have known. And like, just even for another example, my brother, he had got me a IKEWEAR hat back in the day and a hoodie. And this was when it was, like I said, it was really flourished. I was like, oh my God, I was so geeked. Yeah. Took it to school, everybody. Because, you know, this was the fact, like I said, this is why you say the Hill music. No, bro, I'm telling you, it helped. Yeah. Everybody's like, hey, bro, where'd you get that? Because I used to have the IKEWEAR. I used to have the wide shirts. Just anything that was doing to the Hill, I had. And everybody used to be like, oh, where you get that from? It's just like, bro, it's the Hill. Just go to the Hill. Like, there's a store on the Hill that sells this. And everybody kept asking me about all the Hill stuff. So there's a period of time where just I know it was booming. But anyways, back to what I was saying. I came into the store, conversated with you, asked you if you ever done a camera interview. We started talking about that. And then now we're here. So it's just a prime example of just like you really just never know, and it's just sometimes you just gotta shoot your shot. For real, for real.
Definitely.
So I definitely appreciate. You don't even know, but I really appreciate you doing this because like
Welcome.
I already know. Like when you say you're a legend, but I'm already knowing, and it's just like. Even if people don't view it now, there's going to be a period of time where they're going to be like, oh, dang. When people go back on the history, this is going to be a staple, a time where it's like, okay, I have a part of the Hill history, a part of IKEWEAR in general history. So I appreciate that for real. Okay. Now, I want to talk about this a lot. I'm sorry to put you on the spot with this, but we got to talk about this.
Go ahead.
Throughout the years, like I said, I've known of IKEWEAR, and I've never seen any employees. Like, so you have never wanted a business partner, any help?
I have a business partner, but
okay,
we don't have no employees.
Okay.
As of yet, I don't think we're to that point. And to me, it's really about trust. You know what I'm saying? It's really about trust. So I do have one partner that I do have, and I trust her. She's a great partner. I trust her to the end of the earth. She makes sure everything is right. You know?
But no, like you. But
no
what's
why
though? What's the other than trust? Is there any other reason? It's just like.
Well, I've tried to get some youth in, but they didn't step up because it was actually I was running through a learn to earn program to where they would come in and I actually have them work and learn. You know, so I would teach them the business as they're working also. But some of the kids or the youth that I try to get, they didn't show up. They act like they wanted to work. We set it up for them to work, and they didn't show up.
People don't like the work for real. They just like the glitz and glam of it.
You know how much I wanted that opportunity because this is what a lot of us don't get. We don't get an opportunity to be in business and learn how business go. When you get that now, that should encourage you or put the seed in you to at some point one day for you to do your thing. You already had the groundwork
and build upon it.
Yeah, you already know how to do it. You know what I'm saying? And you're getting it from, you know, someone in your community, again, which is, you know, a real notable guy around. So
like, in the near future, I know you have to have some plan of like.
Yes, I do. Because listen, and I've been paying attention to a lot of like I listen to a lot of radio shows, podcasts, everything. And I always trying to run into entrepreneurs. Sometimes you got to get out the way. One of my things right now, I'm just so hands-on.
Same here.
On everything. Now it's going to come to a point where I got to be able to trust whoever I have that they're going to make sure everything is okay. Now the partner that I do have, which is her name is Kyte Bowles, excellent partner. She makes sure everything is ran. She's going to make sure everything is well. I need someone who's going to be just like that. You know what I mean? Then I could probably step away and be like, all right, well, I know they're going to have that handle. This is not going to be a problem. It could run how I needed to run without me having to be there.
It's so hard though to try to find people that
it is.
love because like, all right, there's a difference between wanting to see something do good, but when you actually love something, it's like you're not trying to be annoying, but it's like every little critique, it's like, bro, no, don't do that.
Exactly.
And it's just like, never mind, bro, I'll just do it myself. Like, I'm cool, bro. You got it, bro.
It get like that because even me and her had clashes to a point. You know what I mean? Me and her had clashes where I trust her to do certain things, but it was some things that I had to come. You know, I operate in a different way, in a certain way, and I'm gonna need it to be like that. And man, we have a clash, but she understands.
In the end, great minds think alike, and you end up coming to a agreement there. That's why, of course, that's your business partner. Yeah. Definitely. Okay, so as far as like the most because I've seen many famous people wear your brand, but as far as the most famous person you met and actually have like had interaction and given them your brand, as far as that, not like a outside source that you may have said, hey, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Talk about that.
Met and gave none. Everything been outsourced.
Okay.
I never really met the actual person and was able to hand it over.
Okay.
I've had connections to where that person knew that person, to where I could send it to that person for it to get directly to that person.
Okay, so can we give some names here?
The most recent was Eddie Griffin.
That's beyond huge because I'm my bad. Let me not go ahead.
Well, you know, Eddie Griffin was big. Now I think that helped sales. Like recently, you know, and I got like more followers. You got more people, you know, peeking in and seeing what's going on with IKEWEAR. You know.
Well, that's another thing. All right, so I wanted to say this, but I didn't want to cut you off. Right now, the comedian thing, I don't know why. It's just going crazy with the beef and anything. So there has been recent talks of like people saying like, okay, we got to put Eddie Griffin in this GOAT talk too a little bit. Like we can't just leave him out, especially if we're going to be putting names like Steve Harvey and them in it. So for you to have him wear your brand in this period of time, like anywhere in this last like 6 months,
huge.
Oh my gosh, huge.
Listen, he wore it to the Super Bowl.
Oh,
went
my
viral.
goodness.
He wore it to the Super Bowl. They went crazy. It's like, and you know, my cousin, which is the one who knows him, you know, I had to shout them out. So once I seen, cause I'm just, you know, going about. I just woke up and I'm going about my day. Like, man, Eddie Griffin, his friends on Instagram. So I'm like, you know, strolling through and I see it. I see him. I'm like, oh, he's at the Super Bowl. Man, you know how quick I copy linked it. Shot that thing to Facebook.
I just tagged Taylor Swift too. No, I'm just tag everybody. Yeah. The Chiefs, everybody. Look at the Super Bowl. IKEWEAR.
Yeah, IKEWEAR. It was Eddie Griffin at IKEWEAR, man, and then he was with Desi Banks. So
that's even more light.
Yeah, more light. I mean, so he put us in a great light, and I think we definitely are getting a lot more looks now. Now this is one that I could really tell where a little spike happened with this Eddie Griffin, and I guess it's because the fame,
the industry.
Yeah. Now, let me see if recent, like, I think now my cousin is Mel Man. If nobody's familiar with Mel Man, he's the one who executive produced Dr. Dre's second Chronic album. He's from the Hill District. He's a legend, living legend. A lot of classics out there in the music industry that y'all may not know of, but you know, in maybe 2002, 2001, I think they was on tour. I believe that we had an opportunity to be in a movie that was shot by, I think, Snoop Dogg and all them. So we've had some good looks. We have some decent looks. You know what I mean? But me directly giving it to a famous person, no. It's always like that went through my cousin because he's out in L.A.
But regardless, it's still a good look.
Yeah, definitely a good look.
All right. So most famous person you met, it doesn't even have to be like about the brand, just more like about you.
Floyd Mayweather.
You met Floyd?
Met Floyd in Vegas. I met Floyd in Vegas at one of the top clothing shows. I was down there doing a clothing show for IKEWEAR. This is one of the things that I tell people about my experience that let me know that IKEWEAR could go nationwide. It's called the Magic Show. I don't know if people's familiar with it, but if you're a clothing brand, look up the Magic Show. What this affords you to do, and I'm giving out game here, and it's for free. What this affords you to do, it allows you to sell to stores all around the nation. So it's like wholesale. Well, you remember how I just told you I had to go hand to hand on the block, or I got a store? So now what it does, it puts you in a position where you don't even have to touch it. All you do is distribute to each store all around the nation. Whatever the request is. If you, I had an order for about $5,000. That's how the orders go at the Magic Show. So when you come to my store, you might say, give me a sweatsuit for $80. No, when you're at the Magic Show.
Wholesale.
Yeah, so give me 10,000 worth. Give me 50,000 worth. Give me 100,000 worth. And these is different stores from all around the nation or the world.
And so when you say you don't have to touch it, it's more like an order form. Put your order in here. I got the order. All right, we'll have it to you. Da 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 da. And then you ship it straight to them. You don't even.
You ain't gotta touch it.
Is that where you? I know you probably like doing that a little bit more.
That's what I want to get back to, because I was there at one point for the grace of my cousin, Mel Man. You know, at that time, Dr. Dre was hot. You know what I'm saying? He was doing his thing. And, you know, he afforded us an opportunity to go down there in Vegas to do that. So, listen, I'm not going to lie. I was star-studded. So, it's a booth that you have.
So, wait, you met Dr. Dre, too?
No, I never met Dr.
Okay.
Never met Dr. Dre. I could have. But I ain't going to lie. I decided to go to my cousin's house instead of going. I think a couple of my other family members went to the studio and seen him. I chose to go to. My cousin at the time had a mini mansion. I just went and unpacked the clothes.
You said, I want to be with a family. I'm cool. Yeah, I get it. I
mean, you know, it's like this. My birthday is June 11th. I'm going to go see Eddie Griffin.
Oh, he's coming. He's going to be in Pittsburgh?
I'm going to Vegas.
Oh, okay. You're going to Vegas. Okay.
So people say, well, what you going to do? What you going to do? He had your gear on. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to make him some more clothes. I'm gonna let him know that I'm coming. I'll deliver him to him. I'm gonna personally thank him for doing what he did, and tell him, hey, I really appreciate that. I got some more stuff for you. We don't have to kick it. We don't have to do anything. I don't listen. I show my
He already
appreciation.
blessed you. Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
blessing.
this and that. If anything else should come about, hey, thank you, sir, and we can go about our own.
That's genuine though. That's like, it's not like more or less you already did something for me, so I'm seeing that you like my brand.
Yes.
Here, let me do something for you.
Yes.
Like that. No, that's real. That's not a lot of people think though. And then when you genuine like that, hey, you never know. You might see like we're on one of them specials, them Netflix specials.
Know, right? It's coming. It's coming. As long as you just keep working.
You do know if that happens, that changes everything.
Yes,
though.
it does.
Like
Yes, it does.
for life.
Yeah.
Eddie Griffin's.
Man.
You never know. All right. So I already asked you about that, so I don't want to really get into that. You said, "Oh no. Let's highlight." So because you had to trail off from the Mayweather.
My fault.
Yeah, you good.
I met Mayweather in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
I was working the booth, our booth, like where we sell our clothes out, and you had to go out and you had to promote your booth. So you get a number on these flyers. You tell people I'm at 1019, come check out IKEWEAR, boom, 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 IKEWEAR clothing, boom, boom. I'm going. I got the flyers in my hand. I see Mayweather. I said, now I seen a lot of stars down there. I seen Steve Francis at this time, Jada Kiss. I seen all them down there.
Steve Francis Rockets.
Yeah, Rockets.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah, all them. This is Marcus Camby. This is that era. Them guys was down there balling. I seen all them. But when I seen Mayweather, I was like, no, I got to get a picture with him. I actually got a picture with him.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it was funny, the guy he was with didn't want to take the picture. I said, hey, my man, could you get this picture? Dude was looking at me like, no. I'm like, hey, man, I had to ask somebody else. Hey, man, could you get this, man? Dude
Mayweather,
acted funny. And actually, I got a picture with him.
And what was it like? Did you have a conversation, or was it more just like a quick little, like respectful, genuine?
Yep, just quick. So now people don't know I used to box. You know, and I was pretty decent. And, you know, for those who's in my circle kind of know or thought that I would be at that level. So somewhere I would have probably met him if I would have been doing if I'd have kept doing what I was doing. Me and him would have had to meet up at some point. He don't know that. He don't know that I used to box. But when we did our picture, both of our hands is up like this. You know?
So, all right. So that's one of those instances where it's like, you think you're going to meet someone through one lane, and you like, all right, that's never going to happen now. And then you doing a whole completely, like, IKEWEAR ain't got nothing to do with the boxing. And then, okay, now I'm beating Mayweather. Like, so that was more like a starstruck moment, like that you don't usually have for you.
Yeah, I was like, this is Mayweather. I got to get this picture.
No, for sure. All right. So let's talk about a little bit about your personal life. So outside of IKEWEAR, what are some things that you're into, like hobbies wise? Like, are you watching the games, like Disciple games, like, or like what are you doing on your free time? Are you partying, clubbing, going out of town?
My free time is basically it's either with my youngest son or my kids if they come in town. Most of my kids is out of North Carolina. I mean, well, they live down North Carolina. Or I bowl, play chess. I do simple things. I don't do much. If it's a party, it got to be occasional because I don't go out often. It's occasional.
Or promoting the brand.
Yeah, or promoting. You know what I mean? Or if I'm going to support someone else who, you know, if we got a relationship, you know, I like to support others. So if I see an event that's going on and I'm like, all right, I'm going to go and support them. You know what I mean? Other than that, I'll be in the house. Like, I went in the house like 10 o'clock last night. I went to my nephew's boxing match, came straight from there, knew that I had to be here, went and got my rest, laid down, watched TV, made sure that I would be ready.
So did you get, so when it comes to boxing, like, are you going to put your son in boxing, or like, how do you feel about that?
None of my kids want to box.
Because I was about to ask, they got the new Mayweather boxing little thing in strip.
I might try to put my nephew in there because I seen him fight last night and I put it on my page. You know, he ended up it was close, but he lost. You know, and I feel he could do better. So I may take that step to try to get him into Mayweather's.
And from seeing what you've seen, you think like that's the person who would have it if anybody out of all of your family? Yeah.
Nah. He ain't the one. He ain't one of the only ones. It's the other ones that got it, but they just didn't want to go in that avenue. And it strikes me crazy because what made me want to box is my dad. You know, my dad was a legendary, boxer from on the Hill District, and that made me want to get into it. And I thought it would be the same with my kids, man. None of them they play football, baseball, soccer.
Keep them the baseball and the soccer.
They did everything except box.
Well, I'm trying to think. I mean, all right. So out of all those four, baseball and soccer make the most though.
Yeah.
You can make the most with boxing, but you got to do a lot of, like, Mayweather did a lot of finesse. When you look at his career, he cut some people off. He abandoned his whole management. Like, he did a lot of finessing to get to that point where he could make the crazy amount of money.
Yeah.
All right. So let's take a jog back to when you were younger. All right. So one thing I did know, I don't want to be wrong with this, but I think I'm right. You did go to Brashear, correct?
Yes.
So you've seen maybe the generation changes. What was it like when you were in high school? What was a school like for you back then?
School for me, I gotta be honest, man. School wasn't nothing to me. I cut every day, bro. Every day, all day. I ain't gonna lie. I'm just being honest. Like, I'm being honest. If I did go to school, I cut class all day. I went to the gym all day. Me and my partner of mine, we would literally, it was this little spot that you could hide in Brashear. It was like when you go in the gym, you could go in between these walls, and there was a lot of us back there too who found the spot. So you should be all of us back there hiding, and then as soon as the next gym class we'd come out, act like we part of the gym class and go in every day, like, and
just be hooping all day.
All day. All day. So with me, I gotta be honest. I cut every day, all day. At my school, like, and I tell people this, and there's no shame to it to me, because I gotta look at how I turned out. I'm really self-educated because I failed all the way out. I failed from the beginning all the way to when I got to high school. I just didn't do good at school at all.
And some schools, some schools just not for some people. Like, it really isn't. And then what's crazy is you'll go look at, oh my God, it's so shocking. You'll go look at some of the people that did do good at school, and it's like the people that didn't sometimes be turning out more. No, I'm just being honest, bro.
I know.
It'd be like, damn, like, how, he wasn't shitting. How did he turn out more successful? Like, that's really how it goes. So when it comes, but this is one thing I do want to say. I don't know so much about high school. I see everyone needs a college experience. Even if you don't go to college, just have, like, you might have a friend up there, just go visit the college. Because, man, one thing I will want to say is everybody needs to just, if you're black, bro, go visit it at HBCU, bro. It's mind-boggling. It changes your whole life.
So
it just
let me
really
say this, right? So now I did drop out, but I went back and get my GED by the encouragement of see, this is why I say I'm self-taught, because I was taught by a lot of elders that, like, I always clung to elders in my community, so I was getting self-knowledge, you know? Like, this is education that you're not going to get in the schools. You know what I mean? You're learning about successful blacks that they're going to tell you about. You know what I'm saying? And that's an inspiration in itself. But older guy encouraged me, go back and get your GED. Go back and get your GED. I put it off. And then, he helped me through, and I went back and got my GED. You know what I mean? Now, with that, encouraged me to want to go to college. Now, it was a guy in my community who was already at Lincoln University. He threw me for a loop, right? He said, if you get your GED, I work in the admissions. All you got to do is complete that. I'm in admissions. You fill out the application. I get you straight through.
That's not how it works.
Did you know how geeked I was? Like, what? I'm going to Lincoln University? Man, got my GED. Hit the brother up. Like, bro, I got that. What's up? Oh man, I don't work in the thing no more. They just switched the thing. Oh, I'm like, oh man.
Well, at least you still did it though.
That stopped me from going to college. I ain't gonna lie. That discouraged me right there for going to college, because I thought I had that link to go. Because I had went to Lincoln. I had got an experience of going to Lincoln through when I was going to go get my GED through a paid program, right?
And you enjoyed it, didn't you?
We had a good experience, but to me, and I'm just being honest, I got to keep it real, man, it was almost like being in the streets, man.
But all right.
These dudes is on the block. They got the 40 ounce in the man. I'm like, what?
This is all right. All right. Anybody who's been to HBCU is gonna understand. It's like being on the block legal without a lot of the drama. It's like all the fun parts of the hood combined in one.
Yeah.
You can't beat that. Like, you literally can't beat that.
I had a great experience. Know why? Because it did open. Now, this is my first time seeing the Qs really do their thing.
Frats for people that aren't aware here.
Yeah, frats for people that Q dogs, right? Shout out to them. And a lot of my brothers is Q dogs. It's my first time. I went to. This is when they had a homecoming, so they brought. And I'm old school, so they brought like Karis One, the Roots, and all of them was up there.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing is going on. The music is banging. Hey, man, the Qs is coming through. They stepping right on point with the music. And I never seen this in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking like, yo, what is this? Like, what was these dudes? Man, it was off the hook. I said, man, this is impressive.
But look, here, my first experience seeing the stepping, I got to be completely honest. I thought it was corny at first. And then you do your research, you be like, wait, he just got her just because he stepped? Like, I dress way better. He a Q. Like, what does that mean? He a Q. Like, that's why I be saying it. Be like, it definitely puts you up. But like, I also want to highlight, this is where I had seen, and I know everybody hates me. They're like, oh, why you only like the bougie frats? But I had seen some Delta step, and I love the AKAs too. I always give them shit. But when I seen these Delta step, bro, it was at Soldiers and Sellers. I will remember it was just like women step. I was in love with every single one of them.
So let me say this, right? Now I might not want to say it because I want to be correct.
Mm-hmm.
Now the guy who took us up there was a Q, right? Now we had the option to go to the Q's party, and we had the option to go to. I don't know the other frat's name.
So the Alphas?
Was it the Alphas or the?
Where were they? Because I know the ones with the canes.
I think it was the.
I don't even. Let's not even mess it up.
You know
we know the ones with the canes. Let's just
guys with the canes.
Yeah.
I was more attracted to that.
They're a little bit more smooth.
What?
Yeah, they're more like smooth.
So listen, when I'm
classy.
You, I came with a Q. We had the opportunity. A Q let us stay in this dorm. I didn't go to the Q party. I went to that party.
Yeah, they smooth. I know what you mean.
You know what I'm saying? The Q's. Now listen, don't get me wrong. I'm from the grits. I'm from the gutter. I ain't gonna lie. I was a Timberland rough, wearing all black, everyday type of cat. Don't get me wrong. But I guess I matured to a certain level, and it wasn't appealing no more. Because that was the Q's. Rough, Timberland, camo. I'm like,
with the boots.
Yeah, with the boot. I'm like, I don't know. I seen them guys. I said, yeah, this is where I want to be.
They got the bow ties, the canes. They come out real smooth. I already know what you mean.
This is where I want to be. So
the Q dogs are more rough. That's why it's like, that's how you know there's a real difference when it comes to how they choose and how things go on behind the scenes. Because it's like you really have to have a certain type to be a part of their brand. It just really, really is what it is. But I also do. I am a little bit curious on here. So after you visited Lincoln, the experience from you, that's what made you want to immediately go into college.
Well, no.
Of course, the admissions guy.
The conversation, the spark of the guy getting me back into the education period. So once you know how you get in the groove, you hot. It's like you hot already. You already doing what you wasn't doing it before. Now you really get into a groove because of this elder that's in your community who inspires you to pull something out of you that you have let go. Now I'm feeling confident that I can keep going forward. Now, in this process, I'm having a conversation with a guy who is going to Lincoln that's from my community. He graduated and everything. Now, in that conversation, I'm telling him, hey, listen, bro, I'm in the process of now my GED. You know what I mean? I'm looking forward to going to college. And that's when the conversation come about. Well, listen, keep doing what you're doing. As soon as you're done, you let me know. I'm in here. I do the application process. I get you right through.
And would you have a box for college, or your mind wasn't even that far yet?
You say, did I have it?
I said, would you? Like, if you would have got admitted and everything would have worked out for you, would you have been boxing up there too?
Oh, boxing, I don't know.
Because you can, that would boxing in college.
Because I was done with boxing and everything around that time. I don't know. So now I'm more so on a mental.
You really want to learn.
Educational, yeah. I'm on the educational part. You know what I mean?
And as far as like when your kids do up there, like, do you want them to take the self-taught process, or would you personally want them to go to college?
Well, I've self-taught them anyway, and I encourage them to self-teach because it's unfortunate, and I have to say it. You know, I got to keep it 100. It's a lot of things that we're not going to learn about ourselves in these schools,
and it's getting bad.
That needs to be learned because, you know, with me, you know, it's a lot of stuff that inspired me outside of that formal education, man. It's, like I said, talking to that elder, he was putting me on people that you never know about. That is a true inspiration, who have done great things in this country or in this world. You know, and it gives you that fire for you to want to do something. You know what I mean? But when you go to these schools,
you're only hearing about white successful
how you learning about somebody else. It's not even fair. You know what I mean? That's a conversation that people won't have about this, about the school, and it's like it's not even fair for y'all or for us to have to go to school and learn about somebody else.
Let me speak on this topic a little bit because I know exactly what you mean. And one thing I do want to talk about is I went to Miller, the old Miller, on Miller Street, and now, like, getting older, I realized something the other day that I had never realized. During that period of time, that was probably one of the only schools in Pittsburgh that taught African culture in any form of fashion, singing Harambe, Lift Every Voice and Sing. These kids don't even know what Lift Every Voice and Sing is. We used to have to know all three parts. So things like that. And then I remember after it moved to McKelvey, I had fought for it to stay open. I was wondering, like, damn, why are they so avid on trying to close this and change the culture at Miller? Like, it's all we knew. It's normal. Everybody thought it was normal. Like, people were at an African center school calling people Africans. Like, it's crazy, but it's like all the African stuff we're doing is normal to the hood people. It's normal to the it's just normal to all of us. And then when I got older, I realized, they were trying to get rid of that. Like, they didn't want any form of African culture, any form of talking about civil rights leader on the daily basis in the community. And I'm thinking, like, that's why they were pushing to close their school down and change it. So it's just crazy.
Away from the people, man, and that's what we're dealing with a lot out here. Like, it's like we got an identity crisis. A lot of us don't know who and what we come from. When you know what you come from, bro, listen, it gives you a whole different platform to stand on, whole different pride to exude. Like, I stand on, like, I'm confident and proud of what I descend from. Like, we got the greatest, and I'm gonna say that, the greatest history on planet Earth.
And it's still being created with LeBron. Like, that's
from athletics to educational field to, you go and look at all the stuff, and it's crazy. You go and look at all the inventions. We did the internet. We don't know that. You did the elevator. You did the ironing board, the gas mask. There's so much stuff that we've done that we don't even know, because it's not being taught. And that's what I'm saying, we used to learn all that at Miller. There used to be an ABC, like all A through D of people that have created stuff. I remember this. I'm not tripping. This ain't deja vu or not. There was like, and they were all black. All of them were all black. I know for a fact they don't have that in schools anymore. It's essential because, again, it gives you the motivation to either become that or better. You know what I mean? It lets you know that I can do that.
Seeing someone like you do it, for sure. No. Exactly. And that's the one thing I did, because I want to reiterate, I did say LeBron, but also just people outside of that too. But especially nowadays, if it's not really drama, like anybody that's doing anything positive, I've noticed, like, on the internet, bro, it's not really highlighted. It's not really highlighted. Even when I do it, it's like, I was telling my friend the other day, I was like, bro, I do 30 positive interviews, and it's like, I'll talk about something vulgar, and that's what everyone wants to see. It's like sad, but it's like, it is what it is. You still got to do. I've just reached a point where it's like, I'll do both. I'll do ones like this where we're like, this conversation we're having right now is crazy. Like, 2 years from now, people are going to look at this and be like, there's gems dropped in here for sure.
Yes.
Definitely gems dropped here for sure. All right, so we got to wrap up here. Great conversation. But as far as what you have coming up, do you have any drops or any new things that are happening or planning?
If you guys can, April 13th, man, I would like for y'all to come out to our fashion show. We're doing an IKEWEAR 36 clothing fashion show. I connected with a guy, or my cousin, Aruka Flyboy, Twan the Bidding Factor. We putting this show on April 13th. We have, let me see, 5 other fashions, or 5 other clothing lines that will be in this to show their fashion. So, you know, if you're in the city, man, come out April 13th. It starts at 9. Let me see. Anything else? Come to Marley's World Boutique, 2101 Center Avenue. Get some of the dopest clothes you can get in the city or in the world. And also, you can go to marleysworldboutiques.com. You can order, because we do have an online service where you can order offline. Other than that,
the store?
The store location is 2101 Center Avenue.
Facebook,
and we also
Instagram,
have our website.
Okay. And Facebook, Instagram,
Facebook,
all your
I'm Donnie Kyte, just regular Donnie Kyte. My Instagram, I'm IKEWEAR 36 Clothing, and my TikTok is also the same, IKEWEAR 36 Clothing.
And again, man, let me do it on camera too. I do apologize. I have paid guests, so I have to prioritize people, but I also have the people that I'm interested in. But what happens is okay, let me go do the people that I'm interested in. So I just and you could tell through my questions, the conversation, I genuinely was interested and happy to do this interview. So I really do appreciate you. This is another staple in Pittsburgh chatter that people will realize, oh, he's doing his thing for sure.
Thank
so I
you so
appreciate
much.
it.
I appreciate you for having me.